Hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. This is a channel where I typically like to make videos about books, as well as videos about homeschooling, mostly book related. Today's video is the start of my homeschool curriculum videos. There's going to be 3, and I'm so excited to share this with you. I've been compiling it for months now, so I'm going to split it up into family subjects, first grade subjects, and kindergarten subjects. And then that's it. And I'm going to talk about my toddlers maybe a little bit later in the summer as to kind of what I do with them to keep them busy. But this is just curriculum. So my kiddos are 6.5. My oldest will be 6.5 in the fall, and so he's the one going into first grade. My daughter will be a new 5 in the fall. She just kind of turned 5 recently. And then I have twin 2-year-olds. So as I look around the table at all the stuff I have ready to show you, this is some of my favorite stuff in our homeschool. Like, I know phonics, math, all that stuff is very important, which I will show you later. But this stuff is just so fun and enriching, and I'm so excited for it. I will start with history. So this is the subject that is the least straightforward. We have used Build Your Library in the past. We used Level 0. I loved it. I will link a review I have for it. And we are going to be moving into Level 1 this upcoming year. But what I was thinking is I want to include my daughter in with it, so I want her to be just a little bit older. So I didn't want to start in the fall with her being slightly a new 5. I want her to be more like 5.5. So what we're going to do in the fall is really fun, and I'm really excited for it, is we are going to do a prehistory unit study. So I'm holding this up because this is Build Your Library's prehistory unit study. It is a 6-week study, and I'm using this as my jumping off point because I actually want to make it bigger. I want to make it more of a 12-week study. I want to include all the things she includes, so like things like Big Bang, dinosaurs, early humans. But I want to include it through the lens of God and Christianity. And so that actually brings me to the fact that my husband and I have been reading a lot of books to help prepare ourselves for how best to communicate to a 6-year-old and a 5-year-old some of these things, and to educate ourselves, and then we can share it with them. And I will link a couple of my book videos where I go into detail on what we're reading, how it's been going, because this has been our summer project of reading books about science and faith in preparation for me putting together a unit that is both loves science, and loves God, which I tried to look for that and I couldn't find it. So I will put up here a picture of some of the resources I have already collected. So that's one for history. The second is, like I just said, Level 1. The ancient world, and this is for ages 6 to 8. I'm super jazzed to jump into this. I think it'll be a fun topic. It uses the Usborne Encyclopedia, it uses Story of the World, and I'm planning on sharing this more in the fall once I get it all collected and everything, because I end up just using the part of the curriculum that I'm interested in using. And in the case of Level 1, my plan is to use all the history, all the read-alouds, any of the art study, poetry stuff, and then some of the copywork and narration prompts and things like that I will be using. But that's my plan for history, is these 2 things to kind of start in the fall, to start this in the spring, and we won't finish it in the spring, but we'll just kind of be on a off cycle for that. So that's history. Science. So I am so excited for science. As a lot of you know on this channel, I have a PhD in microbiology. So science is my thing. And so I was really excited to find a curriculum that I want to work with. Biology for the grammar stage. So this is an elemental science curriculum. It comes with a teacher's guide, it comes with student workbooks, it also comes with lap booking templates, which we could use. And I'm still kind of waiting to see where my kiddos land, if they would rather narrate their answers back to me and have me write it in their notebook, or if they would prefer kind of a lap book style. I'm not sure, so I'm just going to wait and see how they fall out on that. So a couple things that are required for the program are these books, and they're required to do the demonstrations. So they have like this idea of scientific demonstrations. So it's not necessarily that your students are doing experiments. You are demonstrating and they're watching and they can help, but they're going to learn to love, be excited by all these things that you do, and then you go into the reading, and then you go into the narration and discussion as the week progresses, but you always start with the demonstration. And this is pretty much it, because it covers animals, so animals, human body, and plants. And so these are the required books for those sections, as well as the scientific demonstration books to do the program. This was actually from the Build Your Library Level 1, is the Heroes of the Environment, because I just think this is such a good topic and I've heard great things about this, so I didn't want to miss this book just because I wasn't doing the Build Your Library Science. So we're also adding this. I don't know where I'm going to add it, probably the morning basket at some point. And then before I leave science, I actually ended up ordering, they have kits of all the different things that you will need to do the scientific demonstrations for the year. And it wasn't that much, it was like $47 or something like that. And for me, in this stage of life, this was worth it. I don't have to collect it myself. I don't have to go to 10 different stores to find it all. So I have that all ready to go. So that's science. And now to get into kind of the morning basket and afternoon basket time of my day. So for Bible stuff, I want one day where we're reading from a storybook Bible of some sort. I have the Jesus Storybook Bible. There's another one that I'm looking into. If you have any good recommendations for 6 and 5-year-olds, I'm always looking. I got the Action Bible and they like it. It just might be a little too violent for my daughter. And then another day, I want to continue reading through the Ology. And then on another day, I wanted to do missionary stories. I've heard really good things about this book. I heard good news today, stories for children. So we'll see. We'll see how they are. They don't look too long. And so I'm excited to start talking about that. My husband really loves missions. Then I also picked up the What's in the Bible. We'll see. I just thought it'd be fun to have something different for maybe Fridays where they could watch an episode of that. So another thing I want to do during morning basket is memory work. And this isn't through a program of any kind. It's just more my own stuff that I want to include. Poetry, fun poetry like we did this one last year. Be glad your nose is on your face. And we had some nature poetry from a curriculum that we were using, that we've used and memorized some of these poems. And so there's more of these that I could pull out, or we could pull out some more fun ones. So I'm still in the process of picking which poems for the different terms of the school year, but we want to memorize poems. And then I also want to continue memorizing scripture. I'm following the Simply Charlotte Mason method for scripture memory, and we are enjoying it, and it has been really fun. So we're just at the beginning, so we don't have too many of these cards full, but we're gonna keep plugging along at that. So that's scripture memory. The next thing for morning time is character. I have Laying Down the Rails, and I have all three. I have the teacher's guide and book 1 and book 2 for the student stuff. We're also going to use the resources from Character First Education, which is more of a public school resource, but I thought it looked really good, so I picked up these 4. So I picked up obedience, honesty, generosity, and responsibility. So those are the 4 things we're going to be working on this year. And this is the teacher's guide they send you for different activities, things to talk about, definitions, ways to show responsibility, things like that you can talk about. The other thing, what really kind of drew me to this was they come with posters, and we have a board in our playroom / schoolroom that I can put these up on, and that means we can keep talking about honesty, and there's a definition. It's like, I will tell the truth, play by the rules, not exaggerate the facts. So we can keep this on the wall, and that will help us keep talking about it. It also comes with these fun little playing cards, or almost like trading cards. The next thing I wanted to try out this year, I haven't done it so far, but I thought my kids really enjoy singing songs. We've learned a lot of different things through memory, through song. And so I wanted to pick up some hymns, not do like a full-blown hymn study, but maybe just do some hymns where we can start to learn them and talk about them. And this one's a seasonal one, so seasons of praise. There's different hymns for every month of the year. So I will plan to pick and choose what we want to look at or what we want to be listening to, and I could probably find a bunch of the songs on YouTube is my plan. Those resources, so the Bible, the memory, the character, hymn stuff, is more morning basket. The second part of the day I have for like a basket is afternoon. So after their quiet time, baby nap time, I want that to be a fun time of day. On Mondays, I want that to be our cooking day, because my kids loved tea time, treat time, is reading poetry and having a snack, but I never cooked on the weekends. So my plan is to, on Monday, elicit their help to make cookies or brownies And then Tuesday will be poetry and eating, said cooking activity. For poetry tea time, that would be more reading poetry. We're not memorizing, we're not trying to recite, none of that. We're just reading it for fun. And so I have these resources. The Barefoot Book of Classic Poems. This is a beautiful book. Let me just open it a little bit for you. This is just a really, really pretty book of poems. So I'm really looking forward to using this more. And then I also have the Random House Book of Poetry for Children, which has some good ones. I have this one, which is called Plum, which I liked because it had really cool illustrations. I think the illustration is the same as the one for the Harry Potter books. And so I'm a big fan there. And so these are great. We've been reading these for a while. And I'm probably going to pick up another poetry book, maybe one that's just silly and fun. So if you have any recommendations for that, put those below. And then Thursday, Friday is going to be more centered around art. So I am really jazzed. I picked up Artistic Pursuits. So they've revamped a little bit of their K through 3 program. And so here is Volume 1, and Volume 1 being where they just learn a bunch of techniques, they learn about art, they learn about how to talk about art, and you do a lot of art projects. And there's a DVD associated, so they learn through somebody else. They learn their art project, and then we have all of the different resources. I just decided to get their kit. I know I maybe could have saved a little bit of money going around and going to Hobby Lobby and different places, but I just purchased their kit where it came with a bunch of supplies like clay and a bunch of pastel sticks and really nice paper. If anybody's interested in a closer look at that kind of stuff, I can do that. I also purchased their Volume 2, which is Art of the Ancients, this was what I was really most excited about. And so I'm probably not going to follow this program straight through, like Lesson 1, Lesson 2, because I really picked this up to do different things like cave art, because we're doing that prehistory unit. And so some of this could be a part of that. And so anyway, I also have this book for kind of more of a very loose artist study. So this is more just because it's very beautiful. And it's also set up a little bit by time frame, so we can read some of these early people ones. So last thing, which I don't think I wrote it out here, but I'll put a picture of it up here, is I want to do a little nature study. So the way our weeks are going to be set up, every other Thursday, we're potentially taking it off. And off in the sense that my in-laws will come and watch the twins, and then I can take the big kids to either do a nature study. So I have Exploring Nature with Children, and I actually do have a recent review video of that. So we would either do a nature study, nature walk, or we could go to one of the museums or things like that. So that's our off educational day, if you will. I believe that is what I have for family studies. I will explain a little bit more about our schedule if anybody's interested in another video, because it's very particular. I've learned a lot of lessons with the twins. So this is my family studies, and I hope you've liked it. I hope you have found some good resources, and please let me know if you want more information on any of these or a flip through. Again, I will be sharing first grade and kindergarten curriculum on Wednesday and Friday. So please subscribe if you're interested in seeing that, or just stop back by if you don't want to subscribe, no big deal. But yeah, that's what I have for this year. It's gonna be a good homeschooling year. All right, thank you for taking the time to watch and stopping by, and I will see you in the next video. All right, take care.